I spent so much money on college applications. Hey YouTube, what is up? It's Amanda, and today I'm going to be talking about how I got into college. So basically in this video, I'm going to be going over my stats, so that includes all the tests that I took, my test scores, my GPA, and then I'm going to talk about the extracurriculars that I did, and then I'll also talk a little bit about my essays. And interspersed throughout the video, I'll give you all the tips and secrets and tricks that I learned going through this college application process that hopefully you guys can apply to your own college applications. Okay, so to start off this video, we're just going to go over the colleges that I was accepted to. And I'm going to be reading off of my computer right here, so that's why you might see me looking over to the side a little bit. Okay. So the schools that I was accepted to were Columbia University, and I got a likely letter from Columbia, University of Pennsylvania, California Institute of Technology, or Caltech, Johns Hopkins University, Rice, Vanderbilt, Emory, and I got a merit scholarship at Emory, University of Southern California, and I got a full tuition merit scholarship at USC, University of Maryland at College Park, which is my state school, and I got a full ride scholarship there, and then Rochester Institute of Technology, and I got a merit scholarship there as well. So those were the schools that I was accepted to. Alright, so now we're going to dive into the stats portion of this video. So first, SAT score. So I actually took the SAT 2 times. The first time that I took it, I believe, was in October, and then I got a pretty good score. I got a 1580, which I was super happy with. So if you guys get a 1580, honestly, I would say don't retake it. Like, that's a fantastic score, and there's really not much of a difference between 1580 and 1600. But I decided to retake it because in my school county, we have like a free SAT administration every April. So since I wasn't going to be paying any extra money, I decided why not take it again and see how I do. If I didn't take it, I probably would have just slept in an extra 3 hours. So I just decided to try again, and I ended up getting a 1590. So the first time that I took it, I got an 800 on my math portion, and then the second time that I took it, I got an 800 on like the reading, writing, verbal portion. So my super scored score was 1600, and I believe that all of the schools that I applied to super scored your SAT score. So basically they considered my SAT score as a 1600. However, just to reiterate, I do not advise retaking the SAT if you get a 1580, or even like I would say like above 1550 is amazing. Like, you do not need to retake that. That's a great score, and you're not gonna like be rejected from a school because you got like a 1550 or something. Like, that's a perfectly fine score. So also, like, look in the range, I would say, of the schools you're applying to, and try to determine like what their median is, what their upper quartile is, and see where you need to be, because it definitely differs from school to school. And I definitely plan to post videos in the future talking about how I studied for the SAT, so make sure to subscribe if you're interested in seeing that. Alright, so now for subject tests. So I took 2 SAT subject tests. So the first one was Math 2, and I got an 800 on my Math 2 subject test. My second subject test was Chemistry, and I got an 800 on this as well. I would say try to take your subject test like close to when you finish the class that's related to that. So for me, like, I took AP Chemistry, and then I took my SAT Chemistry subject test right after that. So I definitely feel like that was helpful in terms of remembering the information that I learned. In terms of studying for it, I think you should just do a lot of practice tests. I think I used like a Barron's book, but again, I can talk about this more in future videos. Alright, and now for AP scores. So I took 8 APs by the time I applied to college. So these APs were AP Calculus BC, AP US Government and Politics, AP English Language and Composition, AP Chemistry, AP World History, AP Environmental Science, and AP Computer Science A. And I scored all 4s and 5s on my AP tests, so I got like the National AP Scholar Award from College Board. So the way that my school works is we do have like AP courses, but we also have a lot of magnet level courses. I was in my high school's magnet program, so I took a lot of magnet level courses. So that means that like the courses that we took were related to the AP content, but not perfectly in line with the AP content. So I did a lot of like self-studying for pretty much all of the APs that I took. Okay, so I think that's it for test scores. So now for GPA, I got a 4.0 unweighted GPA. So that means that I got straight A's all throughout high school. I never got anything less than an A. And then for weighted GPA, I believe my weighted GPA at the time that I applied to colleges was a 4.79. So I know that every school district kind of calculates their weighted GPA differently. So I feel like there's not really much of a way that you can compare weighted GPAs, but that's just how my school kind of calculated it. So I took mostly honors courses. I did take some on-level courses, especially like at the beginning of high school. So if you all want to see a video about all the courses that I took throughout high school, give this video a like and comment down below, and I'd be more than happy to make that video. All right, and now for the fun stuff. So in terms of extracurriculars, I think that my application kind of had three main pillars in a way. So the three kind of activities that I was very heavily involved in throughout high school were swimming, journalism, and science research. So those were the three things that I was super involved in. So basically all of the activities that I included on my common application more or less related to those three areas. So I don't think it's essential to have that in your application, but that's kind of just how it turned out for me because that was just what I was interested in. So the first thing that I listed on my common application was my research experience. So the summer after my sophomore year and the summer after my junior year, I conducted biomedical research at a local research institution. So I included that in my application and I talked about the work that I did there. I also submitted letters of recommendation from both of my research mentors. And then I also was involved in several science-related clubs. So I was the president of my school's Science National Honor Society in my senior year. So we did a lot of fun science outreach events with our own high school students and also with local elementary school kids. So that was a really fun activity and I included that in my common application. And then finally, I was one of the presidents of my school's chemistry club. So we had meetings where we would do demonstrations, lectures. We also did a little bit of chemistry tutoring. Also, I worked with some of my friends from high school to organize this all-girls math competition called Integrals, and I'll actually link it down below, the website that we created if you guys want to take a look. So we contacted local middle schools, elementary schools, and encouraged them to ask their female students to participate in our math competition. Alright, so now moving on to the journalism aspect of my application. So I was a part of my school's newspaper in 11th and 12th grade. So as a junior, I was a writer, and as a senior, I was an editor. So I would say that I probably devoted the most amount of time to this activity. And for journalism, I also won several journalism-related awards that I also included in my application. Also, I was one of the editors for my school's magnet program, literary magazine. So in my freshman year, I worked with a few of my classmates to kind of restart our school's magnet literary magazine. And then for the subsequent years, I was one of the editors, and I worked on editing the articles, designing the pages, getting writers. And finally, moving on to swimming. So I have been a competitive swimmer ever since I was 5 years old on the same club swim team, so I included that in my application. In high school, I swam probably like 15 to 20 hours a week. I also was part of my school's varsity swim team all 4 years of high school, and in my senior year, I was one of the swim team captains, so I included that in my application as well. And then also related to swimming, I was an assistant coach for an outside year-round swim team for younger kids that are just learning how to swim. So on weekends, I would give lessons, and I talked about that in my application as well. So I think if you have paid work experience, that's a really great thing to include in your application because it shows that you're motivated, that you're disciplined, that you're doing something really productive with your time. Alright, I think that's all for extracurriculars. So now moving on to my Common App essay. So the Common App essay is kind of your main personal statement because it goes to pretty much all the colleges that you're applying to. So I wrote about swimming, and I wrote about how swimming has shaped me, changed me as a person. I actually had a pretty rough time coming up with a Common App essay topic. I spent so many months just like thinking of ideas, trying out new ideas, drafting, redrafting essays. And in the fall of my senior year, I talked to one of my really close friends, and she was like, you know what, Amanda, you should just write about something that is really important to you. You shouldn't worry too much about making it unique or anything. Just write about something that matters to you, and the admissions officers will see that. So that was great advice, and that's what I ended up doing, and that's definitely the advice that I would give to you all watching. So I think it's better to choose a topic that is actually really important to you and informative to your life as a whole, rather than just choose a topic for the sake of it being unique or out of the ordinary. You know, even topics that people say are kind of cliche, you can always write it in a unique way. And also, you as a person are a unique individual, and no one has the same exact life experiences as you. So if you just share personal anecdotes, then it'll be a unique essay. Also, if you want someone to look over your essays and give you comments on how it portrays you as an applicant, then definitely go check out the website link Ad Astra College Consulting.com. I'll link that in the description down below. I started a college consulting business with two of my best friends from high school, and they all got into amazing universities like Princeton, Stanford, MIT, Rice. So definitely check out our website to see more about the services that we offer. Some of the things we do are essay editing, holistic application review, mock interview prep, and you can also read our full essays that we submitted to our colleges at our website. Thank you all so much for watching, and leave comments down below if you have any questions, and make sure to subscribe and give a like if this is helpful. Bye!